Mike, a lot of chatter has come about mortgage forbearance in a disaster area. I've seen this shared a bunch on Facebook, and the general gist of it is that if you're in what Florida considers a disaster area, you know, to help with the financial loss from it, in other words, what I call people using the gray area to maybe, you know, there are some people out there that could use some financial help that had some damage and things, but I think there's some people, again, this is this is like the sinkhole thing a few years ago, people may be taking advantage of it, but there's an opportunity for you to get a mortgage forbearance for 3 months, where the 3 months of payments are added on to the end of your mortgage. There are some mortgage providers that make you pay the 3 months of mortgages at the end of the 90 days. It depends on the provider that you have, at least from what I read, and whether or not it's a government-backed loan and what kind of mortgage you have. But what have you seen, you know, because I think there is some misinformation about it, what have you seen out there about
Right, yeah, and I've gotten several questions this week from clients that I've dealt with in the past, you know, regarding the 3 months, and I did a little bit of research on it myself. So just like you said, one thing that I do want to point out with the forbearance, it does get tacked onto your loan, so it's not like your payments are just completely forgiven.
Right. Exactly, it's just tacked on to the end. You have 3 extra payments on your mortgage, you just get 3 months of not having a payment to maybe at least preserve some capital, if you're approved and if your county fits into the disaster area.
It's got to be, you know, a federally designated disaster area, which for our listening market, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, so don't quote me on this, Hillsborough County, Pinellas, Manatee County, and Sarasota, I believe, in our direct area. I was surprised that Pasco and Polk weren't on there.
Correct. I thought Polk got more damage, but I think they announced the disaster areas maybe before the storm turned or whatever. But and those could be updated.
Right. Exactly.
They could be updated by the time you listen to us on the show here. You know, the information could be a day or two old. So you know, certainly possible that those counties could get added.
Right.
But if you're in a disaster area.
The big thing, and what I've told everyone, is call your servicer. You know, whether you're whoever you're making your payments to, call them, because they're going to be the ones that will let you know if you're eligible, what the terms are, and basically if you can do it, any you know, repercussions or the term, you know, whether they allow for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. So, you know, from what I read, the rule or the law, if you want to call it that, allows for 3 months, but it sounds like it's ultimately up to that servicer's discretion to allow what they want.
Sure. And I just, you know, again, I think it's out there for people that really do get hit. You know, if you took a couple of days off work and didn't have any damage, you know, I don't know that I'd want to tack 3 months on extra at the end of the mortgage. I don't, you know, again, there's people that will take advantage of that, but it is there for a reason. It's there to help people, and there's certainly people out there that do qualify that should seek the help from their lender if they've been hit financially, you know, with what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's more so designed for those people that do have some loss. You know, whether you lose power for 2 weeks and you have to replace all the food in your house, for instance, or you do have the damage where you know, windows are knocked out, you know, so I think it's intended for people that really need it, because they're going to have other financial obligations. You know, I even saw something in there about, you know, if you're in that area, maybe your home didn't get so much damage, but where you work did, and you're unable to work, and you're, you know, maybe if you don't get paid during that time frame. So I think there's a lot of good uses for it, but it's like you said, a lot of people that have no damage at all, never lost power, they'll likely take advantage of it as well.